Welcome in, folks. Today we're looking at the most anticipated map for Farming Simulator 22. This is Calmsden Farm by OxygenDavid. This is a standard size map available for all platforms. You can find this in the mod hub right this very instant. Guys, it's built on a area based on, let's see if I get this right, Gloucestershire, United Kingdom. I don't think I got that right. I'm pretty sure I butchered that. But yeah, it's based on a real life area. In fact, if we look at our PDA, you're going to see that the map itself, well, it's based really on a actual Google map or Google Earth type view of an area, guys. So you've got your farm pretty much dead center and 36 fields of varying size that all surround the map. Now, before we get started, as you know, there's three kind of criteria that I base my maps on as far as ratings go. Number one, I want fields that are kind of varying sizes and varying shapes. I don't like square standard size fields. This one definitely has that. Number two, I like some kind of a town site where you have to go and deliver most of your goods. Now, this map's a little bit interesting. Well, let's look back this way here. This is kind of our farm, and it's really the only town site per se in this area. If you're more out in the countryside here, you have different cell points that dot the map kind of out in that direction and kind of up to the north in that direction there as well. But not really a town site, so it's close, but it's a standard size map. I get it. And lastly, I like my maps to feel like real world places. I like to feel like it's alive. It's something there. It's not just you playing somewhere else. This definitely has that. So much detail put into this map. It's an OxygenDavid map. If you've never played one of his maps before, you'll know that that is a standard feature of his maps. Definitely feel lifelike. Now, that being said, one interesting thing I did notice that was missing is there's no traffic on the map. I don't think there's any vehicles that drive anywhere. At least I haven't seen any. On many of the roads that kind of cross back and forth across the map, I've never once seen traffic on any of them. Thought that was kind of strange. Now, who is this map geared for? Number one, I'm going to say this is a single player or a single farm style map. In fact, we're over, well, the main area, the main farming area. There's some different residents and stuff in here, but the main farm is all based right around this area. You're going to see our main farm structure just straight ahead of us up there. This is the main farm area. This map is not really designed to have multiple farms on it. It's designed to have one single farm, and surrounding farmlands all belong to that farm. Now, with that being said, I'm going to recommend you start with new farmer mode, regardless of your ability or your previous experience with Farming Simulator. Start with new farmer mode. Get the full experience of how OxygenDavid wants you to play this map. This map is designed with that in mind. So as far as fields, you start off with on new farmer mode. You're going to see you start off with, well, all these fields that kind of dot around the town on the north side and then go up to field 2. Fairly large fields, guys, to be perfectly honest. Most of these are fairly large in size. Now, if you ever want to buy more fields, just take into account that they're going to cost you quite a bit extra. Now, if we go to field 10, which is actually a rather small field, that's still 230,000. But if we go up to field 5 here, which is one of the larger fields, you're going to be upwards of $1 million, $900,000. Field 1 over 1.1 million. So fields are rather expensive. Just be aware of that. You start off with quite a few fields, mind you, so you should have a good start there. But just some of the other fields, guys, they're quite a cost to expand your farm. The main farmland itself has everything you're going to need for animals, or as far as sheds, everything goes there. You're not going to be doing a lot of building on this map. That's going to be for someplace else. You're going to want to use this map as a playthrough, not as a build a farm type of map. So let's talk about that base farm, shall we? Now, this is based on a replica of the real life farm and surrounding area. You can see here we've got some very custom built shops and buildings. This is one of the main shops right off to the side here. And we also have another one. They're kind of a spread out area. This one here, and as we kind of rise up above that shop, you can see just off in the distance there is the second shop. Now, this whole farm is built along kind of a creek side. There's a bit of a valley in here. You've got river that runs east-west through the map, and you've got the farm that kind of, well, borders up on the hillside of it. A new farm mode, OxygenDavid starts you off with medium-sized equipment for the most part. You've got a couple of different tractors, you've got some harvesters, you've got sprayers, you've got rollers, you've got everything you need to run this farm on new farmer mode, and starting with an extra $100,000 in the bank too. The shop buildings all are very well detailed inside, and all, of course, include animated doors that you can use and drive through and do what you need to do. Now, on top of your main farm, there are also 2 areas on the map where you can build your own production, since the map doesn't really have any extra production areas. So if you want to specialize in certain productions that come with Farming Sim 22 now, well, you have to build on one of those 2 areas out on the map. Now, as for all the details, like I was explaining earlier, where OxygenDavid really thrives and blows stuff away on his maps, well, he really pushed things to the limit here with their seasonal cycles. we've got a ton of different changes that happen between each of these seasons, guys. And you know what? It's definitely noticeable. I mean, in the winter, we've got, of course, our snow. I was looking for the icicles. He says there's icicles that do form. Wasn't able to find those. Our spring, of course, looks fantastic. Our fall, a very, very drastic change to the map itself, where things look very different by comparison. And then, of course, our summer looks, well, as you'd expect. You've got barbecues out, you've got lawnmowers, you got hoses. You know what? I do like the snowmen in the winter. That's always my favorite. And of course, since we're doing details, don't forget all the collectibles on the map. I don't know if it seems like it just me or what it is, but it seems like these collectibles are absolutely everywhere on this map. Okay, now let's talk sell points. There's 5 different ones on the map. This one here is the garden center. Also has a lime buy point or a purchase point right up at the top here. Really? Don't tell me what to do. No, really, I'm outside. Really? This here is the general store with, well, you can see multiple sell points located at this one here on both sides of the building. Oh, okay, I guess if I needed to go in. Are you guys just sharing signs with everybody? Down in the southeast, we've got the, well, BGA, of course. We need to have a BGA, which we already own. I should mention, we already own this coming in. And then we also have another general store off to the side, or a farmer's market area. Also has a debris crusher built right into it, and look at all the sell points in here. There's quite a few of these ones right side by side each other. Another farmer's market down to the southeast. Once again, several different sell points all throughout in here, depending on what products you're trying to sell. Some are back and behind the gate, some are out front. Also down here, you've got the animal dealer, which is kind of like side by side and part of this whole complex down in here. And then lastly, you've got, well, a big sell point up to the very far northeast section here that's kind of in behind, well, a whole storage lot here. There's a couple sell points just at the very back. In fact, there's 3 of them back there. Like I said, they're kind of all together. You're gonna have to figure out which one you're trying to go to, but all the sell points are kind of like this. And actually, part of this whole complex, guys, you're gonna find your main store where your vehicle are purchased right here. You got a JCB shop of sorts here, farm machinery shop, all good to go. This is where your vehicles are purchased right here. And just to show off a little bit more detail of some of this area, as you enter this, you do have a big recycling center right in here as well, which I thought was kind of cool. So you've got storage facility right there, and this little recycling center right here. As far as I can tell, it's unused for anything, but I just thought it was a nice little detail. It looked great down in here. I mean, as far as some collectibles go, maybe come take a look at this, because there might be a few. Okay, man, I get it, but I'm outside. Come on. Map also includes, of course, tons of custom textures. Over 50 new HD bot models built directly from OxygenDavid himself. So lots of new items that we're going to be seeing that you may not have seen before, of course, because, well, they're all brand spanking new. And some of the textures here, guys, I absolutely love some of the ground textures that have been done here. I wish that these were terraformable, destructible, active. I don't know. Oh, and one of the kind of interesting spots actually is this little shop area right here. I should talk about this briefly, as it is a little bit interesting, guys. You can remove the junk that's inside of this if you decide to buy this area and want some more storage area. You can do this and just buy this area. You have to go into your map and be able to sell all the options that are in here. It'll clean it all up for you. You've got shops that are now available for use on your farm that, well, you didn't have access to beforehand because you couldn't get into them until you clean this out for a nominal fee, of course. So as far as what to expect on this map, well, you've got larger fields, medium to large size fields, but you don't have a lot of room to move around with lots of hedges, lots of fences and bushes that you're going to need to contend with. This is a very difficult map to play. I think most of OxygenDavid's stuff tends to be more on the difficult side because you're going to be limited on the size of equipment you're going to want to use to move around the map, but you still have larger fields that you're going to need to tackle. So my suggestion with all of his fields, or most of his maps, I should say, start with medium, smaller size equipment, see how you make do, and go up from there. Try to maximize your horsepower with that smaller size equipment where you can, because you got large fields to deal with, but you still don't have the room to deal with it all. So take that for what it's worth. So what are your thoughts on this map? What do you guys think of Calmsden Farms by OxygenDavid? Is this worth the wait? Was this the most anticipated farm for you? Let me know down in the comments. Of course, answer our poll down below. Did this map meet your expectations? Let me know down in the poll. I'd love to hear from you guys there. Of course, don't forget to slap the like. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new around here. And you know what? If you haven't checked out County Line before, maybe click on the card there and you can compare, well, this new North American map for Farm Sim 22 versus, well, Calmsden Farms for Farm Sim 22. Both fantastic maps, North America, UK. Let me know what you guys think of those. Anyways, guys, have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you next time. This is Klutch. Over and out.